Well, in this Atheist Sunday School, we're going to do favorite Bible chapters, Psalm 1. This is lesson 4. I'm not. Doesn't seem like it's as. When I was watching the videos, it seems like it's not as loud as I think it is. I'm not sure how loud it is on YouTube. I don't know how to get this any louder because it's set max. I apologize if you can't hear me so well. Here we go. Introduction. Every person wants to be prosperous and successful. Yeah, I agree with him there. We do want to be prosperous and successful. That's why some of us go to college. You know, we major in STEM and all this stuff, and it's still in the poor as hell, but you know, at least we can say we were educated. There is a way that this can be done. God has the guaranteed recipe for prosperity. Notice the last words of Psalms 1 verse 3. And whosoever he doeth shall prosper. It doesn't say whosoever he doeth may prosper, could prosper, should prosper, but shall prosper. If there is any chapter in the entire Bible that should be examined carefully by the Christian, it is the first Psalm. There are 5 simple prerequisites for prosperity and success. If these are followed, success must come in order for God to be truthful. Of course, when they say success, they just mean salvation. They don't necessarily mean you're going to be rich or have what you want in life. Obviously, they don't mean that. That God wouldn't allow you to do that. Because after all, that would kind of disprove their God. We can count on it. Success will come. The Christian can prosper at his job. He can prosper in his work for God, see? He can prosper in his Sunday school classes, department in his church. Let's look at these 5 steps and the success which comes as a result. The prosperous person must not walk in the counsel of the unconverted. Basically, do not hang out with people that are not Christians. You know, James 4:4, Amos 3:3, you know, tells you that. And you go to KingJamesBibleOnline.org to see the verses. I think it's 1 Corinthians 16:11 or 16:4. Somewhere in 1 Corinthians, it tells you the same type of stuff. Don't hang out with people that are not Christians because they're evil, they're nasty, they're dirty, they're sinful, they don't have your best interests, you know. But we do. Psalm 1:1. Notice the words, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Solomon tells us in Proverbs 11:14. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Here in Psalm 1, we find that those counselors should all be Christian counselors. No, Psalm 1 is saying Jewish counselors. I can guarantee you that. Certainly the Christian should seek advice, but it should be advice from God's people, especially those to whom God has given the gift of wisdom. This does not mean that the Christian should not love sinners and try to win them. It does mean, however, that he should not walk in their counsel or their advice. I'd rather get advice from people that are actually intelligent, though. It has been suggested that the young person should have a cabinet of people to whom he can go for advice about his future and his decisions. Yeah, I agree with that. But the young person should probably have someone who's more experienced, somebody much older than them, you know, parents if their parents are intelligent. This cabinet should consist of his parents, his pastor, no, I wouldn't say pastor, and someone who's a true Christian friend, someone who he believes has the gift of wisdom from God, and someone who is successful in the field he wants to enter. You definitely don't want your child hanging out with a priest. You know, you might not like that. You might not be able to sit down for a while. That should also be the case for adults. Of course, then that priest should be going to prison, you know, for where he does and get that little beef injection and then that protein enema, but of course we know how the Catholic Church protects their priests. What a blessing this could be to anyone's life. To the prosperous person must not stand in the way of sinners. Sinners. Notice the progression of the first verse. Walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Notice how the person leaves the will of God. He walks, then stands, then sits. One walks in the counsel of the ungodly, invariably he will then stand. When one stands around sinners, invariably he sits down. The secret is to keep walking, to keep moving for God and keep serving Him. One of the grave dangers a Christian faces is running with the wrong crowd. Whether a Christian businessman is yoking up with the unsaved businessman, whether a Christian family goes places with people who are unconverted. Basically, you don't go to the beach, you don't go to Walt Disney World, places like that. Whether a Christian young person dates an unconverted person, or whether his children running with the wrong children. Running with the wrong crowd always turns out badly. You know, don't let your white kids hang around with black kids, or if you're black, don't let your black kids hang around with white kids. Actually, they do have in the past, and some of the more racist folk will use those Bible verses as proof that you don't race mix. And race, as a lot of you know, is just a construct that we made up. It doesn't have no real meaning. You know, when Charles Darwin, let's see, on the origin of the species, you know, people love to mention that you don't know the whole meaning, you know. Here it is. On the origin of the species by means of natural selection or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life. And a lot of you guys, I'm sure, notice, a lot of Christians like to take that and say, oh, Darwin was racist for that. When obviously race is species. But, you know, you don't expect a religious person to tell the truth. That won't happen. 3, the prosperous person cannot sit on the seat of the scornful. And of course, they're talking about not just us evil, horrible atheists, but their fellow Christians are constantly bad-mouthing their pastors and preachers and priests and amens and all the other things they have. In other words, a successful and prosperous person cannot be found to be a critical person, one guilty of judging, condemning, criticizing, slandering, etc. The prosperous person must not be easily offended. Social justice warriors are easily offended. We all know that. And the thing is, though, the easier you are to offend, more likely people are going to try to purposely offend you. Psalms 119, verse 165 says, great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. A critical nature robs one of prosperity and success. Unless criticism, gossip, etc. are forsaken, the Christian cannot travel the road to real success. 4, the prosperous person must meditate in the Bible day and night. The word meditate here is a word which is likened to a cow chewing the cud. A cow has 2 stomachs. When we see a cow in the field eating, she is actually not eating. She is gathering food and placing it into one of her stomachs. At least they get that part right. Then she sits down, takes a bit of food, chews it, and transfers it to the other stomach for digestion. This is what meditation means. We are to take the Bible and reread it and enjoy reading it. Just ignore the parts about slavery and rape and genocide. Then we are to of course, if you do read these things, ask your pastor so your pastor can explain it away. Then we are to take it back up and chew it like a cow chews her cud, so it will do us the most good. This is necessary for a prosperous man. 5, the prosperous person who does the above 4 things has the following promises. A, he is planted. Notice the words in Psalms 1 verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. He is like a tree that soaks up the water all the time. He is not easily moved. He is stable. He knows where he's going. B, he is fruitful. In Psalms 1 verse 3. B, notice the words, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His roots are down in the water, just soaking it up. Because of this, he can bring forth fruit. He can be a soul winner. In other words, one who does the 4 things listed above can be a soul winner. There is no excuse for not being a soul winner. He is fruitful. They're trying to tell you, you need to go out and nag people about this God. Like I used to do when I was a Christian. Talk to co-workers. You go to get gas and groceries. You try to win them over. Of course, none of them really listen. They pretend like they do. You give them a gospel tract. Oh, yeah, thank you. And as soon as you walk out, they toss it in the garbage. See, his leaf also shall not wither. I used to also put in those cases of beer and, atheist books and other stuff. See, his leaf also shall not wither. Notice the words in Psalms 1:3. His leaf also shall not wither. In other words, he will be happy. He will not be a withered leaf. Christian. He will be a joy to others, providing shade, comfort, and solace to other people. D, he will prosper. Notice the final words of Psalm 1:3. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Conclusion. Here it is, a guaranteed recipe to prosperity, a way that every Christian can prosper and succeed. Notice that there is nothing here about talent, ability, size, personality, and dynamics, etc. These are just 5 simple points. The little, the unlearned, the weak, the strong, the rich, the poor, the high, the low, the great, and the simple may all be successful if these 5 points are observed. Memory verse, Psalm 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Nice, ain't it? Now this, of course right now the battery's dead, otherwise I'll turn it on and then hit the button and it's an electrical book. I use this, I have never had to actually use it yet, but it's usually for dogs, dogs trying to attack you. It's dogs, I never had to use it. Mostly when I'm doing, especially when I'm jogging, I put it behind my neck, you know, do this. Because I have degenerative arthritis in my neck, so I end up doing this. Sometimes I do it in my car, you know, when I'm driving, I just end up doing this. You know, I'm at the light, you know, I have to do that. Here's what I find about people. This is why, one of the reasons why I really prefer not to be around people. You know, I'm doing this in my car, you know, or, you know, I'm doing that and then I'll look, because especially when I was driving my truck, you know, I see the white smoke. And it's not white smoke, it's just the water vapor, because it's early morning and everything. And the poor idiot in front of me at the light thinks I'm being rude to them. You know, they're like, they're making all these stupid things like, hey, dumbass, I'm not even honking my horn or anything at you. Get over yourself. It ain't about you. Or I'm jogging, you know, you do this. Some idiot has their dogs barking, you know, or someone has a dog that likes to try to jump the face. You know the dogs. You know, usually it's white trash types. They have these dogs. Now, I jog, I mind my own business. I jog by this one house all the time. I usually do this. Also, before I cross the street, I look. And after I look, I have no choice but to do this because it kind of hurts my neck if I don't. So, you know, these idiots, their dogs are doing this thing that it does. I've never made a comment or anything about the dog. Of course, when you jog, you know, your hands are usually going to be like this, right? They don't really say nothing, but the lady across the street always has to say, oh, put that thing down. She thinks it's an umbrella because she's a dumbass. And one time, are you a pedophile? You know, you deal with these idiots. Now, let me ask you this question. How should I respond? Should I yell and scream? The reason why I'm saying is because it kind of goes with this a little bit, but, you know, don't get offended easily and stuff like that. What should I do? I could yell and scream at her, right? I could do that. I could yell and scream. Is that going to help anything? No, it won't. I can talk back to her no matter what I say or do to that female, to that nasty person. All she's going to do is tell other people, or make it sound like she was right, and make me the bad guy. If I ignore her, she either will still do it again once in a while, or she won't do it as often, or she'll stop. If, however, I just simply say, you know, just mind your business, stop acting like a child, you know, and when she asks that stupid question, I just simply say, that's just the stupidest question you can ask somebody. And then ignore her. I could do that, which I do recommend, because you don't really want to just let people get away, but you do want to let them know, hey, I am going to stick up for myself. It's just a good idea. So that's it for this.